All right, this is Chapter 6, Lesson 1, Solving Addition and Subtraction Equations. So basically the whole idea behind this chapter is actually solving equations. So you want to think about that almost like you're balancing things. So whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. That's going to be a common theme throughout the entire chapter. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, a blank is a sentence stating that two quantities are equal. The value of a variable that makes an equation true is called the blank of the equation. In those blanks, you're going to write equation and solution. So an equation is a sentence stating that two quantities are equal. The value of a variable that makes an equation true is called the solution of the equation. So the equations x plus 2 equals 6 and x equals 4 are blank blank because they have the same solution of 4. In those blanks, you're going to write equivalent expression. So the equations x plus 2 equals 6 and x equals 4 are equivalent expressions because they have the same solution 4. Okay, so you can see that if I put 4 in for x, 4 plus 2 would give me 6, and if I put 4 in for x here, 4 equals 4, so they would actually give me the same solution. All right, so we have a couple of properties that we're going to be dealing with when we're dealing with solving equations. So the first one, subtraction property of equality. The blank, 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 blank states that the two sides of an equation remain equal when you subtract the same number from each side. So in those blanks, you're going to write subtraction property of equality. So the subtraction property of equality states that the two sides of an equation remain equal when you subtract the same number from each side. So, for example, if I have an equation x plus 2 equals 3. The subtraction property of equality tells me that if I subtract the number from one side of the equation and I subtract it from the other side of the equation, it remains the same. So, if I were to look at this, x plus 2 equals 3. Well, 1 plus 2 equals 3, right? So if I subtract 2 from both sides of my equation, right, I get x equals 3 minus 2 is 1, so x equals 1. All right, same type of thing for addition property of equality. But instead of subtracting, I'm adding. So the blank, 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 blank states that the two sides of an equation remain equal when you add the same number to each side. So in those blanks, you're going to write addition property of equality. So the addition property of equality states that the two sides of an equation remain equal when you add the same number to each side. All right, so let's take a look at an example. So my first example says solve x plus 6 equals 4. Now, normally we could just figure that out without actually having to do any math involved. However, we want to start thinking about what do we need to do in order to get x by itself. That's the whole idea. We want to get our variable by itself. So x plus 6, well, I have addition, so I have to do the opposite in order to get rid of it. So that's the idea. I want to get my x by itself, and I have to do the opposite to get rid of it. So I need to subtract 6 from both sides. So x plus 6 equals 4, and I subtract 6, and I subtract 6, I get x equals negative 2, because 4 minus 6 is negative 2. I can always go back and double check, substituting in the negative 2 for my variable. So I substitute in negative 2 plus 6, and it does give me 4. 4 equals 4, so I've solved my equation. Okay. The second one I have says an angelfish can grow to be 12 inches long. If an angelfish is 8.5 inches longer than a clownfish, how long is the clownfish? So the angelfish is 8.5 inches longer than the clownfish. That's the words that I have. And I want to let C represent the clownfish. So 12 inches long is the angelfish, equals C plus 8.5, because the angelfish is 8.5 inches longer than the clownfish. So 8.5 plus my clownfish length equals 12. In order to get C by itself, I have addition, so I need to subtract. So I subtract 8.5. 12 minus 8.5 is 3.5. Again, you can substitute that value back in for C and see what you get. You should get 12. So a clownfish is 3.5 inches long. All right, these examples have to do with the subtraction or the addition property of equality. So I have solved x minus 2 equals 1. Check your solution. So again, I have a minus sign here. The opposite of subtraction is addition. So I need to add 2 to both sides. X minus 2 equals 1, so I add 2 to both sides. So x equals 3. Again, I can substitute that value back in for x, my variable. 3 minus 2 does equal 1. So the solution is 3. Okay? You do the same thing with a pair of shoes costs $25. This is $14 less than the cost of a pair of jeans. Okay? A pair of shoes costs $25. 14 less than the cost of a pair of jeans. Find the cost of the jeans. So we don't know what the jeans cost, so that's going to be our variable. So shoes are less than jeans, we understand that. Let J represent the cost of the jeans. So 25, because that's the cost of my shoes, equals the jeans, 14 less than the cost of the jeans. So I have 25 equals J minus 14, because that's the jeans minus $14. So now that I have my equation, I can go ahead and solve it. So again, because I have a minus sign here, I want to add because that's the opposite of subtraction is addition. 25 plus 14 is 39, so $39 is what the cost of jeans. So again, we can go ahead and double check back through. So a pair of jeans costs $25. This is $14 less than the cost of the jeans, so the jeans minus $14 would give me the $25, which is true. So 39 minus 14 does give me 25. All right, there are a couple of try problems out below. I want you to go ahead, pause the video, try them out, and when you're done, we'll go over the answers together. All right, now that you've had a chance to try out the try problems, let's go over the answers together. So my first try problem states the average lifespan of a tiger is 17 years. This is 3 years less than the average lifespan of a lion. Write and solve an equation to find the average lifespan of a lion. So, tiger is 17 years, right? So tiger is 17 years. This is 3 years less than the average lifespan of the lion. So we're going to say lion equals L because we don't know how long the lion lives. So the lion is 3 years. The tiger is 3 years less than the lifespan of the lion. So that's my equation. 17 equals L minus 3 because this is 3 years less than the average lifespan of lion. So lion minus 3 equals my tiger. Okay? So this is subtraction, so I have to do the opposite of subtraction, which is addition. So I add 3 to both sides. So 17 plus 3 equals 20. All right, my second try problem states, solve the equation y plus 6 equals 9, then check your solution. So my equation, y plus 6 equals 9. Okay, so I have plus 6, which is addition, so I need to use subtraction to get rid of the 6 and leave y by itself. So I subtract 6 from both sides. 9 minus 6 is 3. 6 minus 6 is 0, so I'm left with just y on this side. So y equals 3. I can double check this by doing 3 plus 6 equals 9. 3 plus 6 does equal 9, so 9 equals 9, so that is correct. All right, my second problem says solve the equation r minus 4 equals negative 2, then check your solution. So I have r minus 4 equals negative 2. So again, I have subtraction, so I need to add in order to get rid of the 4. So add 4 to both sides. Negative 4 plus 4 is 0. Negative 2 plus 4 is positive 2, so r equals 2. I substitute 2 back in for r, so 2 minus 4. I'm going to check to see if that equals negative 2. 2 minus 4 does give me negative 2, so this is correct. And that is the end of Chapter 6, Lesson 1.